It's a no hold barred. The match, the movie, the podcast.
Then watch the pay-per-view with the Pirates.
Arr, matey.
Arr.
When we used to do our backyard wrestling, we had this one event. March Madness actually was the event. And my cousin was doing the announcing, and he was always kind of like a very straight-laced, almost like a Face Bischoff kind of commentator. But for some reason, in one of the matches, out of nowhere, he just starts talking like a pirate, and he says, "I'm your new commentator." And he calls 2 minutes of the match as a pirate. And then I think he realizes he doesn't want to do the fucking pirate voice for a whole match.
It's hard. It's a hard voice. It's grabbing, right?
Yeah. So then he just like stops doing it, and that was it. It was the entire history of the promotion. It was for 2 minutes.
They fired him. Did he ever reference him after as though
no?
Oh, see, that's the mistake. It's not referencing him later. Hey, remember the pirate?
I remember I think I was wrestling in the match, and I'm like, what the fuck? I could hear him because we did everything live. We didn't have any posts. So like they're walking around the camera, and you commentate as you're walking on the camera, and you can just hear
a pirate here?
I'm listening. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, get out of here. Fucking jamoke. Anyway, no holds barred, JT and Aaron. This podcast is simulcast video on YouTube where we're cooking hot. So thank you for everyone who supported us here. And we love you. So love us back. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, share us around. That's cool. We're also on most podcast applications in the audio world, except for those. I was trying to think of the name of the bills. The Anagata Center in Syracuse of podcast applications, Spotify, small potatoes, useless. Anyway, you can hear the simulcast on most podcast applications and audio formats as well. Everything we cook up here, most stuff is simulcast. So there are some uniques on both sides, but just subscribe to everything. You know, we're coming off WrestleMania season, headed toward the summer in the world of wrestling. Always got some cool stuff going on. Before we know it, we'll be prepping for SummerSlam. Got some good ideas going on. And we have a really fun project we're continuing here, Aaron. Every month, we have been ranking the top 25-ish pay-per-view matches of that month. And we came off two very controversial ones because we did March and April, and those both featured selections of WrestleMania. Not all WrestleMania was in. It was maybe the first ever ranking list that like didn't include all the WrestleManias. So it was interesting.
Yep. And look, the problem with those 2 years, it's actually a blessing, is there's so many great matches that it's like, it's good for the show that we get to do some back and forth on that. And we'll see if May has anything near that level of great matches.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. April was fun because it was like you had like all-time great manias, but that April pay-per-view historically in WWE always had like a great match snuck in there, like whether it was Cena Lesnar or like the WrestleMania 20 rematch. Like there was always something mixed in, you know, and the April pay-per-view kind of died off in recent years. So May has been kind of their post-Mania show now over the last like 5 years. So I feel like this list may actually have more of the current stuff than we had on the previous couple months, but we'll see.
Yeah. Once they went from Backlash to WrestleMania Backlash.
Yes.
They lost.
Only 1 year though. And I went to that one. It wasn't bad.
No, it's two. It's actually two of them.
Oh, was it two of them?
Yeah, which I discovered during this. But yes, I would have only bet it was 1 year too.
I was at the Cody Seth rematch was in Providence. And that was great. So I'm sure we'll talk about it. All right. I mentioned this is simulcast. So on video, we have some really cool graphics denoting every match. And those are courtesy of our producer, not the tool man, Tim Taylor, is with us. You can see him there. What's up, Timmy?
Oh, man.
Howdy.
Welcome. Good to have you here as always. So he'll be running the show for us behind the scenes. And at the end, we'll flash the list as we go. We'll be kind of moving things around up and down the board. We'll flash a list at the end on video again. So this is one I kind of recommend watching. If you don't have YouTube Premium, like you should have that by now. And you don't have to worry about any nonsense. You can like close your phone and listen to it. And then when we get to the end, you want to see the list, you reopen the video, you know, or leave it open the whole time and watch all the cool graphics. Anyway, whatever it is.
You get to see us.
Yeah, let's dive in. So Tim throws them all in the tumblation, and he brings out the matches randomized for us. So we don't know what's coming next, and we'll just kind of rank as we go. There are no particular order besides this madman's tapped brain that we're going to be digging into. Payback 2016, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I know this is like your feud and like your guys, Aaron. So do you want to tell us about this to start?
Yeah, so I think it's sad that it's not sad, but this is what we get for May. I don't think these two have ever really had a bad match together, ever. That probably dates back to like them fighting in a bar in Laval around the corner. But this was a period in 2016 where I thought their feud really kind of went under the radar. Everybody was very hyped on AJ Styles. AJ was fighting Roman Reigns. There's all kinds of Cesaro was moving up. So there's all kinds of movement and interesting stuff happening in the company. But then you got this low-key feud. And while I don't think it's their best match, I think their best match is, I think it'll be the next month at Battleground or whatever that show is.
Was that the 4-way though?
No. They do another one-on-one match, but it's a great match. It's so funny because if this was April, I would say it's probably near the middle. Right.
Maybe not even on the list.
That's it. I would say we're probably I think we could probably safely slot it in the 10 spot for now. Okay. And kind of see, that's what makes sense to me anyway. It might be like a middle ground match, but as it is, it's great. It's nothing groundbreaking, and I'm sure that's the kind of verbiage we're going to get the whole night. It's going to be. It was really good, but
and as a comparison, right? For April, our cutoff, we had no matches below 4.375 average grade between the two of us. So that meant
so we should mention, we should mention before you get into that how we kind of tier the matches down is that we decide on a cutoff, and usually it's 3 3/4 stars. For some months, it's been 3.5. But we look through our own lists, and whatever's 3 3/4 or above, we throw into a spreadsheet. With each of our scores, we get the average, and that ties into what we're saying.
So for April, the average was over 4 1/4, and we had 30 matches that were over 4 1/4 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So for this, our average is lower, right? For May, we have some here that are. Most are over 3.6, I will say. 3.75 and above mostly. We took any match that you or I had at least a 4-star rating on.
That's right. But then some matches, and we'll get to a couple where I actually had to rewatch the match where you were 4 1/4, 4.5, and I was at 2, right? Yeah. But so there was but I did do some research for this. So there was a big discrepancy, but this one I think this one would safely land close to 4 for you. So that's why I think 10 is maybe a good spot.
Yeah, and I love the 4-way match. I actually just watched their WrestleMania 37 match. I went 3 3/4 on that. I thought that was good as well. The one with the Logan Paul is the special guest or whatever when Sammy was doing his Fidel Castro gimmick with the conspiracy theories and all that mixed in. It was right. Joe Rogan crossed with Fidel Castro. I don't know what he was cooking, but so that was kind of a rare one too, where KO was the face and Sammy was the heel, but.
Well, this is their natural look. I think, those are good matches. They're great matches. But I really think Sami Zayn is the battling babyface. Kevin Owens is the asshole heel. That's what you get here. And it's really early in Sami's run, too. So, I feel like a babyface like Sami, I think he's a great babyface. But as the years go on, he starts to wane a little bit with the general audience. Mm-hmm. That had not happened yet. He was still as over as ever right here.
Yeah, because he had come up in summer 15, blows the shoulder out, and then he came back right before Mania. Because I know they're in the IC title ladder match together.
Zayn's in the Rumble. He's actually really great in the Rumble.
So maybe it's around then that he comes back. Maybe it's wrong. Well, because doesn't he go back to NXT? We covered that, right? He goes back to NXT at the end of the year.
But it's briefly. Not there. Yeah.
Oh, he fights Knock. He fights Knock at is it the Mania? It's the Mania weekend.
Yes. Oh yeah, of course. But he'd been off for
right. Yeah, he came back that. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Whatever. That sounds good for now. You're at 4. I'm probably around there. Yeah. All right. This one's a great match. Judgment Day 2005. Yes. JBL versus John Cena. You're at 4 1/4, Aaron. I'm at 4 3/4. I would have last watched this for PTB, which would have been a minute. Actually, no. You know what? I would have watched it for War a few years ago. So pretty recently rewatched. We've talked about it here in other podcasts, right? This probably should have been the Mania match, and it would have went over even more. And I'll argue that I get why they didn't do this at Mania, because Mania is so jam packed. To do this match there would have been and then have Batista after it would have been too much. What I would argue they should have done is that JBL should have retained by DQ at Mania. And I know that sounds crazy, but you're already crowning Batista. And then you give Cena one last rematch here, and you go no DQ with all the bells and whistles. Because what I always hate about the Mania match was that JBL's entire title reign is chaos. He's got the cabinet, who's coming in, who's coming out. Yeah. He's sneaking out wins. No Way Out, he escapes through the mat. His Big Show's fighting, whoever. So it's like, and then at WrestleMania, it's a one-on-one match with no bullshit, and he loses. It's like, what? Like the whole title reign was this chaos. So,
and there's already so many other feel-good moments on that show.
Yes.
Right? Like it's not like it needed the one more. I think what's interesting about that whole thing, right, is that like, when do you think they made the call that Cena was going to be their guy instead of Batista? Because it doesn't seem to be here. It doesn't seem to be at Mania. Because they kind of like low key put Cena in the
USA, right? Doesn't USA say they want him? Because then they do the draft like right after, right before going into Vengeance, they do the draft, I think. So I thought it was USA said they wanted Cena on Mondays, and that's why they flipped him. I'm pretty sure.
Well, because he is so clearly their guy after that point.
Yeah.
That Batista's not, right? So like it's interesting that they went that route and put Batista in the main and him in the semi-main. But as for this match, like, just an incredible bloodbath. And there are a few it's so stupid, but as I get older and as I as I start to watch the newer stuff and I'm further away from the older stuff, I've come to really appreciate JBL.
Yeah.
Like I don't like I remember the last 2 GWWEs we did. He was nowhere near my list. And as I'm going back and watching some of his stuff now, I'm like, oh, he's sneaking up. And like he just wrestles a really interesting, rough style. It's believable. At the time, I always thought it was boring, but like compared to now, the fighting actually feels real, right? So
so 2 points on what you said. One, I believe it was the last match because Triple H was involved and they viewed that as the bigger title at that time. I think that's why they closed. I also think it was a better feud. Like Cena JBL was kind of last second. Like Batista Triple H have been built for almost a year, really, when you look at the whole Evolution run, so a year plus. But I agree with JBL. He's a guy that knew his role too. Like he didn't care about being like the honky tonk man champion through that run and kind of poking fun at a lot of stuff he did. And I think a lot of the hate from him comes from 2 things. I think one was his backstage reputation, which was fairly earned, I'm sure. And the other was I going from the APA when they're ice cold to world champion in like 2 months felt like another classic. Oh, they're just shoving this guy down our throat. And I actually think they gave him a disservice because I do think he would have been someone that could have benefited from a U.S. title run and build some momentum and then go to the world title, right? And U.S. title would have been perfect for him with the new gimmick he was cultivating. So because his title reign clicks at the end. It takes him like 6 or 7 months to get in there, right? So like I think if they gave him that time to organically build up to that, I think it would have been better received.
And you're right, because if they'd started a mid-card, he's a good enough talker to talk himself up into the main event. And that's what you saw during that title reign. Is that
he was talking. Yeah, he worked his way into it as champion. And it's funny because when we were doing on Warzone, like him as Justin Hawk Bradshaw was like Chad used to always kind of talk like, oh, he's actually been pretty decent in the ring. Yeah. I do think he always had like a relatable style, and the APA was super over. So I do think he warrants some consideration on that list when we revisit it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to consider him, but like he is very much, he's very much the beginning, or he's one of the many, like we just give him everything right away out of nowhere. I can think of Jinder Mahal too.
Yeah, there's guys like that and we had just dealt with, or we were in the middle of dealing with the Triple H fucking super push of hell. And now we had one on each show that was like, oh my God, right? Like we really needed both these, and it even culminates with a great, like, you were only champion because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays or whatever it was, right? So like, it was almost like known that he got that role because they needed a guy like that, and Eddie was crumbling. So anyway, all that said, this is a great match. The blood's awesome. The finish is great. This is the payoff that JBL's title reign deserved, and that's why I do think they should have done a fuck finish at Mania, and then Cena beats him here, like in this chaos. So
in the same way, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, it's our easy number one for the moment.
For the moment, Mm-hmm. So this one's all about the entrance, right? San Juan Street fight, and everybody singing his song the whole time.
I mean, the match is really good too. Like, I don't want to discredit that. You're at 4, I'm at 4.25. But yes, it's the entrance and the atmosphere throughout the match. And this is Bad Bunny taking on Damian Priest. And is this is like what, right after Priest joined? Oh no, was it already a year in? I always get the Judgment Day timeline. I think it's
a year in.
Right. So that was 38 when he showed up at ringside. Yeah, against AJ.
I believe so,
against AJ. Okay. Yeah, I mean the vibe here in Puerto Rico, it was their first pay-per-view in forever, 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so they were like molten hot. And then for Bad Bunny, who's a national icon there, the crowd is just insane. And they deliver the match. Like it could have just been nothing, but they go all out. There's a reason Bad Bunny's considered one of the best like celebrity, workers of this modern era. And Priest, to his credit, I think he had to make a hard decision of what he wanted to be. Like right about a year before this, I think there were rumors of like him partying with other guys. Like I'm not going to get to like some of the stuff I had heard, but like he was going off the rails, I think. And I think he had to decide: do I want to wash out like some of the guys he was like hanging with, or am I going to get fucking serious and I think he chose the right path. He got himself into like great shape and started hanging around the right guys, and figured it out. And he became one of the biggest, like, upper mid card to top line star over the last, 4 years now. So, yeah, I think I'd have this below Cena JBL because I just think it means a little less. I would have this probably above KO and Sammy because I just think
me too.
The atmosphere and the vibe is so good.
Well, look, when we say, I will say when I say something's like when I say this is a 4-star match, I'm for sure baking in the atmosphere.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah.
Like the atmosphere. I mean, the atmosphere is incredible. Like if you look at it at a technical level, like it's probably less, but I never looked at anything that way.
Well, when you layer in the celebrity factor, so when you do the celebrity plus the atmosphere, like that just ramps it all up, The fact that,
and like he sold it like he hated Damien.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like, look, I love the LT match, right? But I never felt like LT really had an issue with that. Like, I mean, there was a small issue, but he didn't hate him, Like he comes out to the room for this. He looks like he's gonna the ring for this. He looks like he's gonna murder him.
Well, and it was good like long-term storytelling too, because 2 years before they were tag partners, right? And Priest brought him in and trained him for that match with Miz and Morrison and all that. So, all right, cool stuff. All right, next up. Oh, back to Judgment Day, and this is 2004, and it's JBL against Eddie Guerrero for the World Heavyweight title, or WWE title, I should say. So we went in depth a minute ago about JBL, right? And this is his glow up, right? After Mania, 2 weeks after they fire Ron Simmons, and like a week later, he shows up in this new gimmick and is supercharged into this. He starts doing like the kind of
the immigration stuff.
Yeah, all the immigration stuff, right? He's like going through the woods in Mexico, whatever. Like at the border, he's like chasing people back over the border. He shows up at the house show, and like Eddie's mom has like the heart attack or whatever. I forget if that's before or after this. It's all during this feud. But this match, and I'm going to tee it up because I want your thoughts in depth, because you were very low in this match when we first put this sheet together. Okay.
Yes.
So I was at a 4.25, and I think you were at like 2.5, maybe.
Yeah.
2.25. You were somewhere in there. And it was one of the ones we flagged for your rewatch because I'm like, this match is just like the blade job from Eddie makes your stomach turn. Like it is so nasty and so gory.
It's gross.
And Eddie retains, but it's by DQ. And then they have the match the next month of the bull rope. And they have a great match on SmackDown too in the cage to finish the feud. But this is like, yeah, I love it. And it's a crappy pay-per-view too.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, here's the thing. So like I think I can be a little bit forgiven for being so low on it because like when I think about this era, we didn't get SmackDown. Like, so I didn't watch it. I would see pay-per-views occasionally, but like I for sure didn't go see this one live because I wasn't into what it was, right? So there's that aspect to it. So the first time I saw it was probably when I was doing the podcast series the year that was around 2018, 19, around there. And so I was just watching. And like you just said, it's a terrible pay-per-view. So it's very possible the first time I watched this, I had already watched the whole pay-per-view. Then I started this one, watched up to this point, and I might have just been pissed off or like tired or whatever. So I rated it low. And then I rewatched it for this. I'm like, I got to give it a chance because you're so high on it. And I like bloody shit. So like, there's no reason why I wouldn't like it. And I freaking loved it this run. And full disclosure, like for this night, I watched a few matches. I probably about 7 or 8 just to make sure that like I wasn't too far off. And I gotta say, for like the 7 or 8 other ones, I found it hard because my score didn't really change. And I found some of them a bit of a sludge to get through. Matches you think are good, but like it just didn't click for me. This was the opposite. I was freaking riveted by every moment. And I think the story, not like we talk about the blood, we talk about everything else, but I love the story of this match. like the story of the match is actually really brilliant. Like the story of the match starts with pure hatred, and Eddie just starts fighting JBL. And that's the first little bit, is that they're fighting. But then something starts to click for Eddie as it goes on, that he can't actually stand toe to toe with him.
Right.
And he can't. So I like that the match didn't start with headlocks and arm drags. Like, I love it. But about a third of the way through, he starts throwing it out on JBL. And I really think it's like a survival thing.
Right.
Like, I really think that's the design of the match, is that like, okay, I got to go back. I got to go back to what's working for me.
Yeah.
Also, the ref bump is like one of the best ref bumps I've ever seen, where he just kind of turns around. Like, it's like Eddie goes to turn to hit the ropes and he like bashes the ref down. I loved it, because the ref bump, a hokey ref bump can like ding a match a bit. But this one was like, oh, like it took me by surprise. And because he hit him hard too. And I like, you're right about the blade job. It's a brutal fight. Both guys are incredible in it. Like, Blades at the end too, because he keeps getting hit with the belt. But like that chair shot that's in that picture right here is nasty.
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's gross.
It's a gross chair shot. Like, if you had told me that chair shot busted him up hard way, I'd believe it.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
And
yeah.
I was so, because I'm not as familiar with the timeline here, I was kind of expecting this to be the one where JBL won.
Right.
I kept thinking, like, isn't there another one? But then as it was going on, I was like, oh, maybe not. Maybe he's winning here.
And so I like that he didn't, because it felt like a foregone conclusion going in that he was just probably going to win here. And you were like ready to be pissed. So when Eddie retains, it's like, okay, cool. But what I like about it is he's starting to show the cracks of like, you know, the pressure now of having to be champion, right? And that becomes his real life cross to bear. But in the case of this, right, it's something he's dealing with as he goes forward. And now he's going to fight JBL again the next month, right? And you can tell, like you said, it's survival mode for him, because he's already had to go through Brock Lesnar. He's had to go through Kurt Angle. Like, he's going through some legit contenders, you know?
Well, and it's funny because, like, I mean, Brock Lesnar, whatever, but Kurt Angle was a different challenge. That's a wrestling challenge, right? Yeah. And that's kind of Eddie's strength. This is a barroom brawler. Yeah. And it's interesting to see how he hangs against him. Anyway, fantastic match. I'm
glad you liked it. Would you have it higher than Cena JBL? I think I have it a little below.
Just under.
Yeah, because I think Cena winning, like, ending the feud, like, that's just if you compare this to WrestleMania 21, this blows it away. And I think Cena JBL blows away their rematch. The bull rope is fine, but like, this is kind of the first of this series, and Cena JBL is the finale. So it's is what it is.
I think for historicals, because remember, this is not just star ratings, otherwise we just do the math, right? So I think that one has a bit more historical significance, but like as a brawl, this is top notch.
Yeah, I think you should rewatch the other two matches just to get a feel for the feud, because they fight at Great American Bash and the bull rope. It's not bad. And then the SmackDown cage, from what I remember, is like really fun. It's in
I'll check it out.
Okay.
It's making me want to watch more JBL, which I never thought I'd say.
His 04 stuff wasn't bad. Like I said, like we dug in pretty deep on War, and
I'd be surprised once he gets to the Undertaker if that holds up, because I remember really not liking
that was a little rough. I like his stuff, like the Benoit match at 22 is like really good. You know, we've talked about that before.
But I also it's funny because like I was always low on this, but I like him as Batista's challenger the next year. And I like him fighting CM Punk when Punk has the World Heavyweight title a couple years later. Like, and it's not just Punk or Batista carrying him. Like, he's good in the role.
Another fun match is him and Matt Hardy at Armageddon 05. It's like another hard-hitting kind of match.
Yeah, no memory of it, but I buy it.
All right, I think it's the match we referenced earlier, Extreme Rules 2016, which is, I believe, is like May 1st or whatever. So we got two from 2015 with Payback and Extreme Rules. This is the Fatal 4-Way IC title. So this is Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and The Miz. You're 4.5, and I know I've watched it. I just didn't grade it for whatever. I think it was before I was like tracking all the shit. But I know I've watched it in recent times, and I loved it. So I think this is my number one right now. And I know Ryan and I, when we did the IC title match rankings, like this is finished really high as well.
Yeah, this is a great 4-way match. It might be the best 4-way match in company history. Like, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of one that, like, the closest that I think of is that Intercontinental match with X-Pac and and
Yeah, it's better than
in
that.
2001. But like, it's nowhere near this. But I just Fatal 4-Ways are not a match that like they really do that much, and the results aren't always that great. But this one's fantastic. And what's great about this one too is the Miz completely holds his own in it. Like he's in there.
2016, we've talked about recently. 2016 is like a sneaky good Miz year. Like he's really good. In 16 into 17, it's like one of his best years.
Well, and 16 in general, like the issue isn't the wrestling. The issue is the shows are all just way too long. So you get burnt out, but it's a really solid in-ring year if you cut away some of the fat. And these are, look, 3 world-class wrestlers and The Miz. And I don't mean that to insult The Miz, but like, let's be real. He is a bit lower than them in terms of in-ring, I think. But he steps up. So as long as he steps up, I'm good. And I remember digging this at the time. Every time I've rewatched it, I've never wavered on what my score was. So this is really a classic that kind of gets forgotten. I think, but my instinct says that even though I have it higher rated than the 2 JBL matches, it should go underneath them.
Yeah, I kind of jumped the gun saying it's my number one because I forgot I had seen a JBL at 475. So I would definitely have that above this. I'm not going to argue if you want to go Eddie JBL above either, just because again it means more historically.
No, I think Eddie JBL should be ahead of it.
Okay, so this is third so far for us.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Okay. So this is like for me when I redid the year 2009. This was the year. This was the feud that like kind of saved the year for me in a lot of ways. Like they have 3 very good matches back to back to back to back, right? And the only issue I have with this particular match is this is, I think, the worst of the 3.
Right.
But it's still great. This, I believe, is the one where he pulls off his mask to pin.
I think it is, yeah. And then does he him with a chair too or something? I forget though.
I think he just pulls off his mask and rolls him up. If I'm not.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Like it's like the 619. He like kind of dodges out and pulls the mask off, which is a fantastic finish. These guys have incredible chemistry. They always have. They were good at WCW as well. And it's funny because this is like 10 years after WCW.
Well, and I like too that like when I remember watching this all from PTB, Jericho has these little like he reheats in 08. 08's kind of his year. And then 09 he's kind of like he fights Steamboat, which is great, but like he's got like what is he gonna do next? And then he just finds his way into this feud of Mysterio. He's out of the world title picture now for a bit. He finds his way into this feud, and it's like, oh shit, like he's reheated, and this kind of carries him into Jericho, which I think comes after this. So he's always been great at staying relevant, right? Like we know that with Jericho, and this was another way in 09 to like just reheat himself after what you thought was okay. 08 is maybe his dead cat bounce in a way, like he comes back, he seemed kind of lost in 07. 08 he pulls out this magical year. Now he's out of the world title picture. Is he going to sag down? No, he gets into this, and it's it's awesome.
It's a testament to how good he is because you can tell he's never plan A, right? Like they're not expecting him to be as hot as he is in 2008, but he does get that. And so then that's why they have nothing for him at Mania, right? That's why in the end it's just the celebrities, which is good. It's a good position to be in for him. But again, like they clearly have nothing to do with him, so they put him in with Ray, and then again he makes this feud amazing. I mean, Ray obviously does as well. But this is a great feud.
So we both have this at 4.
Yeah.
Would you have it above or below Kevin and Sammy from Payback?
I think I would have it above that.
Me too, but I think I would have it below Bunny and Priest just because of that reaction is like.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's do that.
That's like an all-time moment.
Yeah.
And like you said, this isn't even the best of their feud.
It's the worst.
Right. We'll cover their best shit in the months to come.
Yeah.
So. All right. Judgment Day 08, Randy Orton, Triple H in a cage. So this is the one we had a real big disparity on. I'm not going to sit here and preach a lot about it. Like we did it for PTB. I'm at a 4. You're at 2.5. You rewatched it, right? Or not? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I did.
I remember liking Orton a lot in 08 and a couple of their matches. I felt they felt, at least from a fresh perspective, where Triple H was the face and Orton was the heel. And it felt more even than like their past shit where like it felt like Daddy Triple H against like nephew Orton or whatever. Like, but this felt more like they were equals. They're equals. So to me, I think I remember liking that at the time. But I am fine putting this at the bottom. One thing we should call out that we didn't mention, we have like 28 matches, I think. So we're going to cut 3 off at the end.
Sure.
And I know this is probably one of them, and I don't really care enough about it to like waste a lot of time. So if you want to give a note, you can. If not, we can move right along. It doesn't matter.
Well, just the problem I have with it is that I found the match that they wrestled, and this is the Triple H special, didn't fit the stipulation at all.
Right.
Like, why are we doing a cage match and we're doing a pretty straight wrestling match?
Yeah.
Like that, it makes no sense. And it's funny because when the match started, Orton bolted for the door right away, and I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be the story.
Right.
No, that went away immediately.
It seems to be the issue with their feuds. Like 09, you get the same thing in Mania where it should be a bloodbath, and it's like a fucking Ric Flair 1985 fucking Matt Classic.
That's it. But look, some people just don't click. And I actually think these two just don't click. I think they just...
No, their best match is probably WrestleMania 24, and that's the Cena's in there with them.
That's it. So yeah, like, and it's funny because I actually lowered this on, like, I was at 2 3/4, and I watched it again and hated it. It's like, okay, 2.5. This was the one I was bored. Yeah, so put it at the bottom if you're good.
Yeah, on the bottom. Let's drag along. All right, Over the Limit 2011. So Orton Christian, fantastic feud. I went 4 on this, but I believe that's like my lowest for them of all their stuff. Like I think I'm very high on the rest. I'm going to look back because I know we did this season very early on in War, and I just loved rewatching this feud because it comes out of nowhere. Like you don't really expect it for either guy at that point. But man, it delivers. So yeah, I went 4 on this one. And then as they keep going, like I just keep ramping up my grades, and I have the SummerSlam match as the best match of the series of the 3 on pay-per-view that they have. But Christian has some magic in 2011 and 2013 in WWE that you just don't expect coming at that point in his career.
Yeah, I actually have this as the best rated one of them, which I'm surprised.
I think they have one on SmackDown too, right? It's one on SmackDown.
Well. So what happens is Christian wins the belt in that ladder match at the last show from Alberto Del Rio because Edge had to retire. And then like a week and a half later, Orton beats him on SmackDown, and everyone is mad. Like everyone is mad.
Yeah, I feel like they had another one later on. Maybe not. I thought they had like 5 matches because there's this one, this Capital Punishment, the SummerSlam,
Money in the Bank.
Oh, Money in the Bank, So that's the 4 plus the SmackDown's 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, I love this series. I actually struggle to differentiate the matches, truth be told. I'm going to kind of trust my gut on this one being the best one, but I might be due for a rewatch on them too. Orton is both Orton and Christian are guys that like, Christian is more when I see him do other things. I like Christian a lot more in TNA and AEW. AEW. I also don't mind him at AEW. He's there. But Orton is one of those guys that I just love more and more the more I watch. And it's
by the way, WrestleMania 37, the match is fucking stupid with Bray Wyatt, but all-time Randy Orton look. He's got the shaved head, not all the way shaved, like the crew cut basically. The beard is in thick. He's slimmed down, and he's got these sick. I don't think he's worn that much. These sick white tights with like the red. Oh my god! Like when he came out, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I'm ready. But it was like, he looked amazing coming out for that match. I was like, I have forgotten what he looked like at that point. Right there you go. Tim likes it.
Yeah. Now then, the box-like object happened. And
box-like structure. Yeah.
Structure. Whatever.
Actually, I think
why couldn't he just say box?
Yeah, just say box. I went 2.5, which is better than I thought it was going to be. It's better than the bug match. I'll say that.
Imagine having 2 WrestleManias with Randy Orton, and those are your 2 matches.
I know.
The bug.
Yeah, Orton can still go though. Like right up to this year's Mania. It's crazy.
Orton's great. Orton is fantastic. But yeah, I'm high on this one. You're a bit lower.
But I would put it up. Right now, I'd have it below Eddie JBL or above. I think I'd have it below Cena JBL. I'll leave it to you if you want to go higher or lower than Eddie JBL.
I think let's put it higher. I actually think it's like, and that's no slight to them. I just think that this match is really exceptional, and it makes us it actually. I remember at the time it was so good that it made people weren't angry anymore that Orton won.
Right.
And they were
the feud ends up being amazing.
Yeah.
And they give Christian. It's not like I think they were mad that Orton won the first time because it felt like okay, Christian's just going to be shoved along as usual. Every time fans want him, he seems to get depushed or whatever. But they kept him in the scene, and he has like a 5-month run with all these awesome matches. So I was like, okay,
one more match. That was the funniest. He kept trying to get one. Like how many times you have to lose?
Yeah, I mean some great stuff. All right. So next up, we go to WrestleMania Backlash 2021, triple threat for the WWE title. And this one, Aaron, I will let you tell the story of. It is Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lindsay. We love you, Bobby. Again, this is one I'm always honest with our viewers. It's in the Thunderdome era. I have very little memory. I mentioned I'm rewatching WrestleMania 37, and I'm watching these video packages for the build to that show, and I remember like none of it. I was just very checked out on the week-to-week TV. Like I think I had it on the background, but I just couldn't do it. You know, I was so pissed off of the crowds and stuff. So I was definitely struggling. Later era, I was probably a little bit more in because I knew it was coming back. But
yeah,
I don't remember a thing about this. So tell me about it.
So look, Lashley and Drew I thought had really great chemistry. I love their WrestleMania match. I actually love a lot of the stuff they do together. It's two bigger guys. It's like a big hoss fight. So this match, you throw Braun Strowman in, and for me, it's not as good as the one-on-one matches, but it doesn't hurt it that much. So this is basically three hosses throwing hands for like 15, 20 minutes. It's brutal. It's got some really cool big spots. But truth be told, it's not, again, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's just a really solid triple threat with three big guys killing each other.
Well, and you and I are both Lashley fans. Like, you know, we like him a lot, especially during this run. And this is kind of Braun's best run, right? Like, he's pretty good in the pandemic era. I watched his match with Shane at Mania, and I had it penciled in. I'm like, probably 2 stars. 2.25. 2.5. As you're going, you kind of bump it at Mania. And I was like, oh, actually, that wasn't bad. I think this is when he started to kind of have his best run.
Yeah, I would agree. But that being said, I'm at 4 stars. It's probably a low 4. It's probably a 4 solely on work rate. So that for me, that probably wouldn't hold up too well long term. So I'm happy to kind of shift it towards the bottom. I'd probably have Sammy and Kevin ahead of it for the pure hate involved in it.
We love you, Bobby.
I would put this just above Triple H Orton. Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's on the top line for sure.
Yeah.
Do we love Bobby? Do we love Bobby?
All right. What do we got next, Tim? Ooh, Judgment Day 08. Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. This is the beginning of their feud. So the hate isn't quite there yet. This is when Jericho is starting to kind of troll him a little bit. And, coming off, he was kind of playing the pisser and the cereal, right, with Shawn and Batista trying to get between them, and he's the ref for their match the month before. But this was big for Jericho because he had come back in November for Survivor Series, was not doing much of anything and was struggling with it. The JBL feud was kind of meh. Mania, he's got nothing going on. And then he comes here, and it's like he kind of gets involved in this feud, and boom, off and running. Fantastic feud. It's funny because we were talking about earlier, because I'm sure you're cooking something up with this question you asked a few of us earlier, but it was like kind of defining the eras of the company and the pay-per-view time. And I noted that I felt Jericho Michaels to me is like the last of the ruthless aggressive attitude era storylines. And I felt like if you're trying to throw a stake in the ground of like the PG era, to me, it's when this feud ends, because every match of theirs is like intense. It's violent. They're booking their own feud. It's hard hitting. There's blood. Like, it felt like an old school feud. And by
women are getting punched.
Huh?
Women are getting punched.
Yeah, they're right. Sean's wife gets clocked. He puts him through the Geritron, fucks his eyes up. Like, so like the whole, it's really, and then 09, you don't get as much of this shit anymore. You get some like early in the year, but it really starts to fade by the summer of 09 is when things, go ultra, not even PG. It's funny because everyone always says like the PG era. It was the fucking G era for like 09, 10, 11. It's the G era. Like, it is not even PG. But I really love this feud. That said, I do think this is probably the lowest of their matches because they escalate the violence every time from here. And I think Unforgiven, is the one I have the highest, which would be the unsanctioned match. The No Mercy ladder match is okay too, but that one, I think it's Unforgiven, is awesome. I forget if they have a fourth one or if it's just those three, but
I think it's just those three. I'm trying to think of what I have those ones at, because I'm sure I'm like you. I'm sure it goes up because they have that confrontation. Yeah, it goes up.
Oh fuck yeah, the ladder match I actually have at 4.75. So I guess I like one. Okay. So that's probably the best one. Yeah, the unsanctioned I'm at 4.5. Yeah,
I'm at 4 for the unsanctioned, and I'm at 3 3/4 for this one because Again, this is when I
Bash
rewatched.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did they? Yeah, because I was this one when I was at 3 watching this one, and you were at 4, and that's one where we had the discrepancy. So I wanted to check it out, and I liked it more. But for me, it didn't rise to like great. There was just something missing, and that's why I had it 3 3/4. But still, really, really, really strong match. Maybe it's not fair to compare it to the others, right? But that was what was constantly going on in my head, like.
But I guess it's kind of by design, right? Because it's almost supposed to be, and not that we should give it extra credit because of it, but it's meant to be the beginning of the story, right? It's not violent. It's not as angry yet because it's just kind of like Jericho kind of been fucking with him. Sean's trying to prove that, he wasn't whatever. I forget the whole song. He wasn't upset
It was about because he feigned an injury.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, he was faking the injury. That's right.
With Batista, and then like Jericho was very much like, I hope you didn't fake it, and then Sean kicked him and was like, yeah, I did fake it.
Basically. Right. Yeah, that was the whole thing.
And how and we forget how important this feud was in turning Jericho into the suit wearing asshole heel.
Oh yeah, this kicks it all off.
It was all based on this, right? So
yeah, it happens during the feud pretty much. So it's phenomenal.
And then like a month later, Batista beats the shit out of Michaels too. Like
that's
Great
American.
That's
Extreme Rules. Yeah, that's Extreme Rules.
That's it. But it's an interesting little 3-way feud they've got going with guys you wouldn't expect to necessarily gel.
Fantastic. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And like I said, it felt like the end of Attitude, or end of Ruthless Aggression. Like to me, that's boom. And No Mercy 08, I would call it. That's it. It ends there, like pretty much.
Right.
With that ladder match. All right. So that said, would you have this above KO and Sammy?
Yes.
Okay. Above Ray and Jericho? They're very similar feuds and series.
Yeah. I think this is probably more important. So yes.
Okay. All right, but below Bunny and Priest.
I could be convinced to put it above Bunny and Priest.
I think if it's their other matches, I go higher. I think here. I think Bunny Priest. That's my like cut line right now because of the atmosphere.
Good. I just don't feel strongly enough about Bunny and Priest. Like so that's why it's like, Backlash France tag team street fight.
Oui. Okay. So this is
2024.
Yeah. So Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. We both went 4 stars. I don't remember enough about it to dig in deep. I remember liking it. Like again, it's Orton. It's guys I like. Orton and KO is like a fun team. And they have like a cool partnership. I like the 3-way at Mania, and like they had a good little thing cooking during that stretch. And early Bloodline's fine. Like Solo was still kind of figuring it out. Tama had just shown up, I think, recently before that. So
no, this is not early Bloodline. This is Tama, yes, because like Solo had been there over a year at this point, right?
Yeah, early like I should say like Bloodline reset, like after Reigns, because Reigns is gone, right? This is after 40.
Yeah.
So kind of early Bloodline reboot era.
Yeah,
I think this is near the bottom for me. We could put it above Triple H and Orton. You want to put it above Bobby since it's got a crowd?
Yeah, let's do that.
I think the France crowd was great. I'm sure the
France crowd was great.
Yeah. I want you to do a number on them, baby. They say you're the best. I just want them to suffer.
Who's they?
Vince and his hair, I guess. All right, we stay in France.
Yeah.
And we have Cody Rhodes taking on AJ Styles. So not the match from their AJ retirement. None of the match from AJ retirement tour. This is just kind of during Cody's title feud. I am at 4.5 on this. You're at a 4. Again, I can't sit here and say I remember a ton about it. I really remember liking it quite a bit, and I thought it was a cool match, one that we haven't really ever seen before. And again, I think the French crowd really amps up everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I have it as a great match, it's funny. Like that is almost like the baseline for like AJ Styles and title matches.
Yeah.
I find it's like all at 4, like always.
Yeah.
I don't remember this being particularly memorable, except for the crowd singing for AJ Styles the whole match, which was great. And which I think eventually got him that match against Cena. Because that was in France too, right? Like is the final one.
Is it France or is it
in 2025? Was
Germany? Where the hell is it? I forget.
It might have been Germany. But anyway, like it was the European crowd for sure that made that happen. But yeah, like I can't really speak to how
Yeah, it was
amazing
Paris,
it
right.
is.
Clash in Paris. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No, that was Cena
It was-
Logan.
Oh, it's Australia?
Yeah, Crown Jewel. Yeah, Australia.
Oh, yeah. So I can't really speak to how amazing this was. I just think it's really great. It's solid, but I don't think ultimately it matters. Like
I'd put it above Bunny and Priest. I think because the crowd is probably similar and it's probably a better match.
That's fine. Let's do that.
But above, you want to put it below the 4-way IC?
Yes. For me, yes.
Okay.
But do you want to put it? You have it higher, so do you want to put it
No,
higher?
I have them both. I don't have a grade in for the 4-way, but I think I had it at 4.5. I would have it 4.5. So
You know what? You know what? Some of the like, and maybe this is wrong, but I find sometimes in this case for this month, like if I think of May, the 4-way is actually a match I think of. It's like, oh yeah, that happened in May. If you told me this happened in May, yeah, sure. Like it doesn't come to mind ever.
Yeah, it blends together. Yeah. But Cody's got some good stuff in there, and here we go, another great AJ May match, Extreme Rules 2016. So this is one of the ones that slips in, very early in the month. Now this match I know I like a lot. Again, don't have a grade in there, but I would definitely be right around where you are, which is 4.25. This was, Reigns is coming off the real tough Mania showing.
Yeah.
The match was not great, and he just needed to be established. And I remember being a little iffy on them putting AJ here because AJ had just come in. He had the weird feud with Jericho that a lot of people were down on. He loses at Mania to Jericho. But then I think it's the night after on Raw, he comes out right and sets up this feud. And is there a 4-way? It's like a 4-way match during the
Yes, I think he wins the number 1 contender match. Yes.
And their series is fantastic. It's this is the Reigns we remember from the Brock stuff and from some, Orton match, whatever it was in 2015, that was he can go. And this to me is we have some great AJ stuff in WWE, but this is his last great year from here until probably Mania 33, right? Where you get the Cena feud. Is he still have great matches going forward, but this is his last sustained year of greatness where every match fucking balled out that he was in. So, and he really does a nice job with Reigns in getting him on track for the title reign.
I would say Reigns is probably his second best opponent in WWE.
Yeah.
And all the matches are here. I think Cena kind of wins in a landslide, but once you get names you would think Samoa Joe and Nakamura and all the guys you would think you'd have better matches with. I'm sorry, this series is better than those series.
Mm-hmm.
And it also kind of performs the miracle of, I don't want to say it rehabilitates Reigns because the crowd was firmly against him, but during the match, Reigns was so good in those matches that it made the booing went away during the matches. They weren't happy when he won or whatever, but it wasn't that consistent attack that he had in other matches.
Plus, the crowd is engaged because they want AJ to win. Because he was so hot, he was new, he was over. So it was that was part of it too, is that the crowd they're not booing Reigns, but they're so into AJ that they're invested in the match, right?
And it wasn't unfeasible that he won.
No,
because the title was bouncing around a bit, and the near spots were great. And it's funny, maybe. I don't think Reigns was that great a worker at this point. And I wonder if, I think he's a great worker now, but I think at this point he was still figuring it out in terms of how to do that main event style. Mm-hmm. And AJ really helped his development.
Yeah.
Much stronger after this.
It also helps AJ in WWE because again, he was scuffling. He hadn't really had a great match. So this is his intro too, to say, okay, the Rumble appearance is great, but after that, he's stuck in the Y2A, Y2 AJ shit or whatever. And it's all right, this is what we're doing with fucking AJ Styles. And then this feud really got him cooking too. So
and then he's champion by September, right? You forget he won the belt in the first year.
So compare this to Eddie JBL because it's similar in ways, not as violent, but it's kind of a legitimizing post-Mania title match feud.
I think this is probably better.
All right, how about Cena JBL?
No.
Below that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm the same because I have Eddie JBL at 4.25, and I think I'd be around that with this. So.
Okay, that's what I have this at 4.25. So
yeah, so I think that's fair.
All right.
All right, Backlash 18, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. So I'm lower than you on this one. I'm 3 3/4. When we watched this season for War, I was really disappointed in this feud. Like,
Yeah.
You heard all the great stuff, and you were one of the people that always talk about their match in Japan. They come up together. 2016, but Knock goes to NXT. Styles goes to the main roster. So then they're kind of separated for a while. They come back together. Knock wins the Rumble. Like, that's awesome. And the match of Mania is like a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Right. And then like, okay, well, maybe they'll get cooking in the feud. And it just never seemed to put it together. And that to me is the story of that AJ title run. Like you mentioned, Joe and all these great guys he gets. And it's on these long bloated cards. And there's dream matches up and down the fucking card in 2018. Like, I'd put these pay-per-views on that I had no memory of. And I'm like, oh my God, they're doing this fucking match like on WWE pay-per-view. Like, it was nuts. And then it'd be like 3 1/4, 3 1/2. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's for whatever reason, like it just felt so rinse repeat. So like I went 4 stars in the Mania match, 3 1/4 at the Greatest Rumble, and then 3 3/4 here, and 3 3/4 at Money in the Bank. And I think that's it. I think it's the end of the feud. So
yeah, I'm at 4 at Mania. I'm at 3 at the Greatest Rumble. I'm at 4 here, and Money in the Bank's the last one. I'm at 4.
Yeah.
And I think that was the best one, the Money in the Bank one. This one has the weird, like I think they both kick each other in the nuts, and it's like a double DQ.
Yeah, it's when Shinsuke's doing the low blow because he kind of turned heel after Mania. Remember, he hits him low, and then so Styles gives it back to him here, I think.
Yeah, look, I think it's really hard to watch their matches here knowing what they have been able to do together.
Right.
Like that's really hard, and I really think they pigeonholed Nakamura into being like the same heel that everybody else is, because he's so different that you want to just play to his strengths instead. It's almost unfair though that these guys have these expectations because I think the match is great, but I'm still disappointed by it.
Yeah, I was the same. That's his whole year. It's AJ's whole year. He's got matches again up and down the card. Like he's gets 4 with Nakamura, then he gets Rusev. Like when Rusev was hot, he gets Samoa Joe at SummerSlam and Hell in a Cell. Those I was like low on. Yeah, I just felt like, man, this guy, is that the year he fights Brock too? I forget.
No, it's the next year because they switch. Okay. They're not doing that yet.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, he fights Joe. He gets like 3 matches with Joe. They all disappoint. Then he gets Daniel Bryan at TLC. I went 4.
That's right. But even 4.
Well, he fights him at the Rumble. I went 3 at the Rumble on him and Bryan.
Yes.
Then he fights Orton and Mania. Yeah, everything was just disappointing. It was just crazy. Which is what my point earlier was like. 16-17 to me is like his last great year because they give him all this time and these matches all got time because these shows are all fucking 5 hours. So they all got a half hour every match.
It always felt with Knock and him that they were building to something bigger. Like this match is not quite there because they're building to bigger. Okay, this match, well, again, it's not quite there. And they never got to that bigger part. So I'm okay with this being quite low on the disappointment factor.
Yeah. I'd put it above. Let's put it above Bobby because again, I just feel bad, but like there's no crowd. But I'm okay putting it below Sikoa and the Orton KO.
Yeah,
because
that overachieved and this underachieved.
Yeah.
Do we love Bobby?
All right. Okay. Up next, we go to again back to Backlash 2021. Roman Reigns defending against Cesaro. My world is warped during this time period. I had no idea Cesaro is even still there. Like I don't know who's where at this point. I did think it was cool that Cesaro got this little reboot. He gets the big win over Rollins at Mania, and that vaults him into this title shot here. So that's cool. You're at 4 1/4. I don't have a grade on it. Anything you want to talk about with it?
It's just a really good Roman Reigns title defense. Like it's in the era where he's still not overly relying on the bloodline. So the ending of the matches is not the same every single time. So for me, it's a bit of a breath of fresh air compared to the rest of his run, but it's exactly what you like. We just talked about AJ and Knack and expecting like so much more. This is kind of to me like exactly what you'd expect. Like with the level you think both guys are, they deliver to me exactly what that is. It's not the greatest match of all time, but it's great. It's a very good defense. So but the problem is it's completely forgotten to history, and I think for good reason. No crowd, and nothing really came from it other than another win from Reigns. But that's okay because sometimes solid title defenses are really good to have, and it helped establish him even more. That being said, I'm thinking probably middle of the list where we're at now. Like, where would you put it around?
Yeah, I'm just gonna trust your gut on it because I don't know enough about it. Would you have it above KO and Sammy?
Yes.
How about the Jericho matches?
Yes, I think so. No. I have it
This
rated
doesn't mean
higher.
anything in the long run, right?
That's it. So maybe ahead of KO and Sammy, but
Yeah.
below the Jericho matches.
That's fine. I hate to ding the. I'm sure these are really good stuff, but like in the long run, it's such a throwaway era. Like this is how you know it's throwaway. We are in an era where WWE is obsessed with content and referencing old stuff and like stories in the past, and that wasn't always the case. It is now, and you never see shit from anything pandemic related on anything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was cool in the moment, but those weeks were filling time so they could get back in front of crowds. And that's
And when you think about it, that was the birth of the tribal chief. And they still don't show it, which is their most important character post-pandemic.
Yeah. Every now and then they'll show maybe like him and Jay in the cell, like, but it's like a quick, whatever. Like they don't linger on it. And this is the end of it because I think they're back in like this is May, and I think June is when they go back on tour. They had done Mania Live, and then they're back in the Thunderdome until June, I think, and then they're back.
Yeah, and then the SummerSlam, is that where Lesnar has the tractor? Or is that the
no? That's 2022.
Okay,
I don't remember what's. Oh no, 2022 was Vegas. That's Cena and Reigns. Yeah.
Okay, so it is the tractor one.
No, the tractor is the next year. That's Reigns and Brock in Nashville. That's 22. Yeah.
Okay.
No, 21's Vegas. That's Cena.
Oh,
that's Becky's return against she squashes Bianca.
That's right. Everyone's mad about that.
Yeah, that 21. That's probably the last like pay-per-view, PLE, whatever, before the fans are back. I think was that Backlash. So, All right, Backlash 22 6-man tag. So again, this is a show I was at. Orton, Riddle, and McIntyre against Reigns and the Usos. I like this a lot. It's kind of a classic old school 6-man tag. McIntyre's hot. He's always great too. Riddle, this is kind of his last gasp, I think, before he completely fucks up his whole career being an idiot.
They dodged a bullet on him, eh?
Yeah. Well, I referenced one guy in Priest that went one way. That's one guy that decided to go the other way. So there you go. And Orton's always perpetually over. We're coming off WrestleMania 38 with Reigns unifying the titles. And the Usos, they're really, this is their next 12 months is like their peak as a unit. Like Reigns and the Usos is like a 3-man crew. And the Usos dominating the tag division. So,
am I crazy, or is the next? Okay, Reigns defends against Lesnar at SummerSlam, but then it's Drew after. So they're already probably planting the seeds here for Drew to get that shot at Clash of the Castle, right?
Yes, definitely. Yep.
Yeah. I think this is just a really fun, like 6-man party match, for the lack of a better word. It's just really well worked. It's intense. Everybody's good in it.
It's like International Incident or it's like one of those where they just put 6 of their top guys, pull the cord.
If Sid was in it. Oh, if Sid was there, 5 stars.
Ooh, I think I would have this above the Solo Tama one.
Yeah. I don't know how much higher it goes though. Like,
you want to keep it below Owens and Zayn? It's really good. I remember the finish is really good.
You can put it ahead of Owens and Zayn.
Okay. Below the Jerichos. Oh, how about above Roman Cesaro?
I think this actually does more and sets up more, so I'd be okay putting it above.
Below the Jerichos?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because again, this isn't significant in any way, right? Like it's a fun 6-man. It's a fun 6-man in the same way the Rockers and Tito against
Yeah, it's just one of those old school 6-man tags that just clicks and heats up. And it's or like No Way Out, No Way Out 98, that 8-man at the end, like main event 8-man. It's like one of those kind of matches where it's just put all your stars in the ring and let them chop it up for 20 minutes. All right, next up, Judgment Day 2001, Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle. So this one is another one you rewatched, Aaron.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on the rewatch. You're low. I think I'm 4.25. You're 3.25.
So I love Kurt Angle. Let me just throw that out there. Never a huge Benoit guy. I know that's easy to say in retrospect, but I never was. And I knew he was going to murder his son. No,
I knew you had something wrong.
I knew it was me. No, but I love Angle, and so already I'm willing to love anything he's in. Right? I just feel that the stipulation really hamstrung this match. So it was like the first match had to end by pinfall, the second match submission, and then it was a 3-fall match, and the third one was a ladder match. And if you look at the running time of the match, I feel 2/3 of it is the ladder match, and the rest are all in that first third. But I really think neither one of these guys are very good at the ladder match. I think it doesn't play to their strengths at all. At all. Like these guys are two wrestlers. I don't know why. Like I'm okay with them brawling and not wrestling.
Well, they already had the wrestling matches, and that's part of it. Like they had fought at WrestleMania. Yeah. That was a straight match. Angle cheats to win, and that was underwhelming. Then they fight at Backlash. Is that the 30-minute submission or whatever?
Yeah.
And that's good. But again, I think it's one of those feuds and series of matches that suffers due to the expectations. And I think it's similar to AJ and Knock, Perfect and Shawn, like over the year. Like you think you're going to get ultimate classics, and they do have one 2 years later.
Yes, but it's a wrestling match. That's my issue. Is that it's not that Benoit, when you think of their ladder matches, right? Like, has Angle's never really been in a ladder match of consequence, right? Like, can you think of it? No, I can't.
No, I'd have to think if he.
And Benoit, you got the one with Jericho, who I think is really well suited for a ladder match, and then the Money in the Banks. But again, that's 7 guy. That's
right.
It's easier to hide. I just think these two are not good at ladder matches, and because that's so much of the match, that's all it is. I found this boring. I don't want to see these guys slowly climbing up a ladder. I don't want to see them slowly hitting each other with a ladder. I want to see them wrestling. I did like the ending though, where the way Angle just raced up and grabbed them because it was the medals hanging.
They were trying to end that feud where Benoit was keeping him in his tights and all that.
Which it's funny because when you think about who Benoit is, in the tights, it just all blends into that. What's wrong? Well,
and that's a big night because Benoit comes back later as Jericho's partner, and they win the tag titles. And the next night on Raw is when Angle's doing the medal ceremony, and Shane comes out, and that starts their feud. So, all right, so I'm okay with this being down with AJ Knock. It's kind of should be better, but disappointing. I would have it above.
I'm okay with that. I would personally have it below because I really disappointed how much time they spent on the ladder, but I'm not enough to fight it.
I think the AJ Knox series as a whole drags me down, and when I think of that year, I get so worn out just thinking of that year.
I know
it's an exhausting year,
and you could cut half the shows and still have all the content. The other issue with this batch, the Benoit Angle match, is that the first fall, you would never, ever, ever, and this is a problem with 2 or 3 fall matches and Survivor Series matches, never in any other situation would that move get that pin at that point of the match. Right? It's just because it's here. It was like a back suplex or something.
All right, Haharin. Over the Limit 2012, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. You're at 4.5. Don't have a grade marked down, but I know I love these matches in the series. And I like the earlier ones before they start getting AJ too involved and it gets too bogged down with her. And this is their first, I believe. And to me, this is going to be really, really high. It was a dream match at the time in the company. They hadn't done it yet. And suddenly you go the world title match. It's almost it's like the signal flashing that we're starting to edge towards some of the stuff more in 13 and 14 because they hadn't really done much of it yet. It was out of nowhere. Suddenly Bryan goes up a level, at the end of 11 into 12. And this is just, it's a really good wrestling match. I think it's better than the next month with AJ Lee. Looking at our list, I'm probably putting this second, or at least it's in that discussion with Orton Christian, for sure.
Oh yeah, because right now you have Cena. Yeah, I think Cena and JBL should be ahead. It's just a great wrestling match.
Yeah, we have Cena JBL 1, we have Reigns Styles 2, and Orton Christian 3 right now.
I feel like this should probably go ahead of Reigns Styles.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it is a harbinger of what's to come. It's the success of Punk in 11 and going into 12 helped the Bryan era, and eventually Bryan. I mean, Bryan probably proves a lot of his mettle here for him to win the title the next year, right?
It's a sneaky, really good run for him that's often forgotten because everyone's so obsessed with that 13-14 run. You forget he's like a world champion in the main event for like 11 and 12 before he goes into Team Hell No.
Yeah. That being said, he's an afterthought of a main eventer in that, like,
well, SmackDown, yeah. I mean, they're not as, like, invested in it.
Well,
but.
And he's like the honky tonk man in a lot of ways. Like he's barely hanging on against Santino.
Right.
But that being said, he makes those matches amazing. So yeah, like this is like a really pure wrestling match in an era where there weren't that many of those. So I think it stands out a lot too. Very, very strong competitor here. So I'm good with it at number 2 so far.
Yeah, and I do think, like you said, there's historical importance because it's like a preview. It's like Brett Shawn at Survivor Series 92, right? These guys are a little bit more proven, but it's similar to that where it's like, oh, suddenly we may start going in this direction, but it takes a little bit to kind of fully commit. But yeah, it's just cool that they throw this out on pay-per-view. And when you think of what's going on Raw at the time, it really stands out because this is Cena and Johnny Ace and Tensai and like all that fucking garbage coming out of Mania. So like this on SmackDown was like fresh air.
Yeah, and the main event of this show is John Cena against Johnny Ace.
Yeah,
so I remember the time people being pissed, and rightly so. Like this was fantastic. Like deserved to go on last.
Yeah. All right, so this is our second match right now. All right, Payback 2016. I don't think we need to go too much into this because it's just a second match of Reigns and Styles.
No, this is the first one. This is the first one.
No, Extreme Rules is before Payback, isn't it?
I thought Payback was before Extreme Rules.
No, I think Extreme Rules is like beginning of May and Payback is later in May. I'll double check quick. Extreme Rules is May 22nd. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Payback is first. Okay.
Yeah, I saw I had it in my sheet, but it's possible it's wrong. This was great too. Like it's great. It's not as good. So like,
all right, you tell me what you want. I don't. Again, I haven't rewatched the series. I just remember really liking both. So we have AJ Roman very high. Where do you stack this versus like Roman and Cesaro?
I think it's probably ahead of Roman and Cesaro, but maybe not higher.
Okay, because after Roman and Cesaro, we have the 6-man with Orton, McIntyre, and Riddle.
Oh, it can go ahead of that.
Okay, and then the Jericho matches. Ray and then Shawn.
He might go ahead of those.
Okay, then we have Bad Bunny and Priest.
I'd put it ahead of that.
All right. Then we got Cody, AJ.
Let's stop it there.
Okay. Yeah, because I have that at 4.5.
Yeah, let's stop it there and see how that kind of plays out. This is the start. It delivered. It's crazy they did another one the next month or that same month, but later, and it also delivered. But I just remember this being just a step down.
Yep. Okay. All right. Back at Payback this year, 2015, is a fatal 4-way for the WWE Championship. And that is Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins. It's all kind of the top players from Mania 31 or whatever. You had Orton and Rollins in there after their match. Well, Rollins champion, obviously. Reigns is former champion Orton. I went 4. You went 3.5. I remember liking this a decent amount when we did it for War coming out of Mania. I like this mix of guys for Reigns because Reigns is in such a weird spot at that time. Like we talked about it, the crowd kind of out on him, kind of hate him. And they used 2015. It's kind of a classic Vince booking in 2015. They use Ambrose in all these tag matches to kind of reheat Reigns to get him ready for the end of the year in his next title reign. So it's like they kind of forcefully get him back over a little bit by tethering him to Ambrose throughout the summer. And they have the feud with the Wyatts. But it's good stuff, right? Like they have the feud with the Wyatts. Like there's some really good matches in there. So, this is kind of the start of that, like kind of pairing them back with Ambrose as the Shield after Rollins had turned on them. And they kind of separated a bit, but now they kind of come back together during 15. So, again, you're lower than me. I'm sure you haven't watched it in a while. It feels similar to like the Sikoa match. Somewhere in there.
Tag match. Yeah, I'm fine. If you want to put it anywhere there, I can't remember this one that much. It's funny. It's just the Shield and Randy Orton coming out of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
like, which is fine. It's so crazy to do that whole thing pairing with Ambrose. They could have just easily just gone with Ambrose.
That's the biggest mix in 16 for sure. 15, maybe not as much, but we've talked about it a lot, even on pods back then, that like 16, they should have audibled at the Rumble. They should have audibled at Roadblock. Like they have a million chances to go to Ambrose and they just should have done it. But.
Yeah. And he's the most over guy in the company or close. Right. Yeah. So, But yeah, let's throw this around Sikoa. I'll let you pick the positioning.
Yeah, I don't know. You want to fight for Reigns and Cesaro over it?
No.
Okay, so let's put it above that, below the Riddle 6-man.
Okay.
Because I just like the crowd a lot in that match.
Yeah.
All right, Backlash 23, Bianca Belair, Io Sky. I went 4. You're 3.25. Did you rewatch this one or no?
I did not rewatch this one. And I'm pretty historically low on Belair, on Bianca.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, she just does not click with me. But I love Io Sky. So, like, it's possible this one is better than I've rated it. But again, it's...
Well, I feel like this is like one of Io's first big singles shots, too, because she had been with Damage Control, and they have a 6-woman tag at Mania, right, with Trish. Is that match? So, like, I think this was, like, her first big, like, kind of one-on-one shot as a solo on the main roster.
This is also in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and my ceiling is just higher. I mean, my floor is higher in the modern era. So like a 4 in 2023 is not like a 4 in 98. You know, like it's just, I just find the floor to be very like good to almost great. Like for a lot of stuff. Like a lot of my grades in 22 to 24 are like 3 3/4, 4 4.25. Like, and it's just like it's mid stuff, but like I just feel like their floor has risen so high. It's just very, very good. So
that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's the problem with the match too is it's just not memorable.
Right.
Like I do remember a lot of matches from this era. This is just completely lost on me.
So below Sammy KO?
I think so.
I'm gonna probably above the solo tag.
That's fine. Let's do that.
I feel like we're maybe like underrating that one. I don't remember. I feel like we kind of keep picking on it. Okay. All right. Next up.
Oh.
Chamber 15. John Cena. Finally, some contender for the top here. John Cena, Kevin Owens. We're both at 4.5. This is their first match, right?
Yeah, it's the one after like Owens comes out on Raw, power bombs him, steps on the belt. And yeah, it's there out of nowhere. This is now the match for Elimination Chamber 15.
Well, and this is the show they throw together last minute, right? It wasn't even supposed to be a pay-per-view. And that has that awful fucking chamber match for the IC title.
When like the veterans can't even hold the thing together after like a small thing. Like
it all crumbles apart. That's that show.
Yeah. World-class worker Mark Henry there, you know. Anyway, yeah, like, and then what's the other? There's 2 of them. There's one for the Intercontinental, and there's a tag team chamber too, which is pretty cool, actually. But this is the jewel of the night, clearly. I think this might be number 1 right now because
I had this tied for their best match.
Yeah, this is my favorite of their matches, I think. I'm going to double check actually before I say something like that, but because I seem to remember other matches kind of playing off. Oh yeah, I like the Money in the Bank more, I think. Only from the perspective of I think they play off this match a lot in there. But I think in terms of greatness, I would put this one higher because this is.
I have Money in the Bank as your lowest at 4.25, and I have this in Battleground at 4.5.
So I have this at 4.5. I have Money in the Bank at 4 3/4, and I have Battleground at 4. I think this puts KO on the map. It changes John Cena in a way. It makes him the indie worker John Cena, which kind of
definitely
rejuvenates a bit of his career at this point. Like
it starts the whole super worker Cena for sure.
That's it. It has a shocking ending that Owens just beats him clean, which no one ever did. And that's actually an issue with the other 2 matches, is I feel that they kind of undo a lot of that in the next 2 matches. But this is just a competitive war, and Owens plays it so cool throughout the whole match. Like he's playing how much he needs to beat him the whole match and how much it means to his family and stuff like that. So I love this match. It's such a beautiful surprise.
So number 1, higher than Cena JBL?
I think so. Because I think it's a better match than Cena and JBL. And I think it might be a little bit less historically important, but not much.
Well, they don't rely on the gimmicks, which if you want to give a little credit for that too, like they tell a great story. And it makes Owens a star. Like,
yeah,
you could argue Cena JBL makes Cena a star. So they're kind of similar in that regard, I guess. But Cena was on his way, regardless. Whereas I think Owens really needed this to show that, like, because no one had really come up yet from NXT, and like the Shield did, but that was like the old NXT. Like no one had really come up from like modern and like TV NXT era.
Yeah.
Owens was kind of the first to come up and like be like, okay, like this is gonna work. The people before him had kind of all flamed out.
Yeah, and like you're saying that like Cena, like beating JBL kind of made Cena. Yes and no. Like JBL was a kind of a weak champion, right?
Yeah.
So like I mean, Cena it could have beaten anybody and had kind of the same.
Yeah.
But this is Owens beating Super John Cena, right? So that means something.
Clean on the first shot.
That's it, and we're all so high on it at the time. So I don't want to say it's an easy one. I don't think it's an easy call ahead of that match, but for me, it goes.
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm not going to argue it. All right, WrestleMania Backlash 2022. Again, another match I was there for. Rhodes Rollins. This is the rematch from Mania. I went 4.25. You're at 4. I just think it was impressive that they were able to come off that Mania moment and Classic and do it here without the circumstances, without the crowd, the massive crowd, the moment of Cody's return. This could have easily been like a 3.5. Like, okay, they're never gonna, but they come close. Like, it's really, really good. And then they have a sell the next month where Cody's got the torn bicep, which is great too.
Yes.
So I really enjoy their feud, and I think this 3-match series went a real long way in legitimizing Cody to the modern WWE crowd. Like, for those that remembered him and maybe didn't watch AEW or his indie stuff, he was Stardust. Like the end of his run was not good. So to him to come out and have these 3 straight bangers with Rollins was like, okay, like this guy's pretty great.
And good on them for putting him over Rollins 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Like in other eras, like here, we just talked about Kevin Owens, right?
Right.
Like Kevin Owens beats Cena, but then he loses. So it's like he doesn't come out on top.
And that's the Cena formula for like 3 years there. It's like he loses the first match and wins the next 2.
And then that's the other thing is that everybody who faces him comes out of the feud worse than when they went in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's like the mission is to get this guy over. They did it, and it works, and he's great, and he's still great to this day. And Rollins should get credit for helping that along because he's completely unselfish. He loses when he's got a torn bicep for God's pec for God's sake.
Right.
Like,
so I think looking at the list, I'm going around the Cody AJ Reigns AJ 1 match. Like, I think this is above the Shawn Jericho. It's above Bunny and Priest because I just think it means a lot to Cody.
Yeah,
I think you could argue it means more to him than the AJ match.
Yeah, I would put it above that, but maybe there
below the 4-way IC 4-way.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Yeah,
I think it's good though. It's a really good match, and like I said, I think showing that Cody could do it consistently and not just in a big moment where the crowd's rabid and they're feeding off a crowd that was like insane to see him.
Yeah,
said a lot for him as a worker.
Well, we've come to this. So this is.
I love you,
Bobby. Like I know, like in the it's funny because in the past months we've kind of toyed with the idea of putting something weird at number 1 or something different, but I think that this one is so far above all the other ones that there's no choice. Like this match is an absolute masterpiece from like the build to the special referee, Vince McMahon, to the surprise timekeeper, the surprise announcer, the reminder of the rules for the match. This is just a reminder. It's a no disqualification match. It's false count anywhere. To Undertaker.
Oh, those choke slams. So good. The Patterson choke slam is an all-timer.
His legs go so high in the air.
And it's so great because like you don't expect this from Dude Love. Like I remember when he turned from Cactus back to Dude, I was like, oh, why? Why are we going back to Dude Love? Like, what is this? And it works. Like it just works so well. Foley, I think at one point said it was his best match. It's an easy 5-star match.
Yes.
You could argue in some ways, like, I don't know if I'm willing to make the argument, but I think it's on the table that this is peak Vince, like, and then nothing else reaches this moment. Like, he's great. We have him at 5. We have him and Hogan at 5. We have great Vince. But you could argue he is never better and never more over as a heel than in this moment right here. Because Austin is so fucking hot after just winning the belt. And Vince had just turned and was trying to get that belt off of him. And he wasn't overexposed yet. He wasn't all over TV yet. Like, it was so fresh and so in the moment. And it's amazing stuff.
He's so mad throughout the match when Dude Love isn't winning. Like,
oh yeah,
there's one point where he tries to count a fall when like he's on a car. And he's
because
so
he fucking
angry.
hates that he's going to rely on Foley. Like he's
I know.
disgusted by it, and
Yeah.
that sees through everything, and it plays into later in the year when he's dealing with Mankind, and he fucking hates every moment of it. He just can't stand this fucking human being, and he's always saddled with him during the stretch. Like he's his opportunity to get the belt off Austin, and he can't stand it. And this is the fucking guy he's going to rely on. So
the chair shot that he takes too is so disgusting. Like,
oh yeah. Well,
like
the one the month before is nasty too.
Yeah, but
that's a thick one. But this is the one I think that knocks the caps off his teeth or whatever. Like he fucking just crushes them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's so many low blows and near falls and him screaming, 1, 2.
Russo Brothers Body Shop. I mean,
Did you call them?
Like you hear about all the great Russo era storylines, like the Deadly Games, you know, and all the great stuff that he wove in throughout here. But this is like, yeah, you said it's a masterpiece. It's perfection. And
they even played into like it can only be my hand that counts the 3.
Oh yeah, you could argue it's the moment the Monday Night Wars really turned, because I think at WrestleMania 14 it kind of starts, and that Raw where Vince is supposed to wrestle is the first that they win. But this was like, okay, this is a fucking classic, and Austin's like a maniac, and we're off and running. And I think it's also the first great match of the true Attitude Era.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yeah, no, it's a masterpiece.
Number one, easy.
Yeah, and nothing's gonna knock it off.
No, it's gonna stay there, especially looking what's left here.
Yeah.
All right, Iron Man. Well, this is close. Iron Man match, Judgment Day 2000. I'm at 4.5. You're at 4.25. I love that they rectified the issues from WrestleMania 12, and they're like, we're never doing that shit again. I think it's the first Iron Man since then that they did, and they're like, we're not doing that shit again ever. This time we're gonna go the other way. We have 11 fucking falls, but I like the psychology that they do things to make it pay off. Like, so Triple H beats the shit out of him with a chair and gets disqualified. Okay, who cares? He pins him right away, gets that fall back, and then like pins him again right after. So he actually gains an extra fall out of it. He sacrificed one loss for 2 wins. Sean is really good despite the nut huggers as the ref.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate choice.
You know, he's great as a ref in this match.
And thanks, Tim, for including that, by the way, in the picture.
Oh yeah, you have to. It looks like he's naked the whole time because the shirt is longer.
And he's prancing. He's constantly prancing.
Oh, also. He loves it.
Like, yeah.
And the only downside is they fuck up the timing of the finish. They got to take the clock down. But the pop for Taker is immaculate. Vince with the duck walk, you know, when Taker punches him in the face.
Yeah.
Like
the X-Pac choke slam too. He gets so high.
And this was big because you're coming off Austin getting injured. You don't know, like he's not there. Triple H had won at Mania, and you're kind of like, okay, what are we doing? Mania kind of stunk. The Backlash match was really good, and then like, can these two guys? Like, I remember that was a question. There's no way Triple H and Rock can do an Iron Man like our match.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to do that? And they did it. And it's not all bells and whistles until the end. Like, it's a wrestling match until then. It's a very smartly worked match.
No, it's great. And you know what? A good creative ending too, because they didn't want to put Triple H over the Rock strong. So they did it in a way where like everybody's popping for the Undertaker, but it inadvertently costs Rock the match with the final DQ fall. So yeah, I mean, not quite the masterpiece of Over the Edge, but a lesser masterpiece.
I would say this is my second right now. I think this is better than Cena.
Yeah.
It's historically better. It means more. The Taker moment is all time.
Yep, I agree. I will not fight. I agree 100%. Not even a.
All right. Over the Limit 2010, John Cena, Batista. This is another one I was higher than you on. I was at 4. You were at 3.5. I believe this is their last one where he F5s him off the thing, and then Batista comes out the next night in the wheelchair with the neck brace on, and he quits or whatever. I think this is. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the next month. That's correct me if I'm wrong. Is that Extreme Rules 2010? Am I mixing them up?
Extreme Rules is the Last Man Standing, where he ties his feet with tape.
Okay. Is this the I Quit then?
This is the I Quit, yes.
Okay. All right. I quit. Yeah, this is really, I have it at 4. I just like it. It's a great brawl. Cena's a good May guy. Like, he's got a lot of big May matches.
Yeah.
You know, he's up and down there. So I know, again, you're lower. So if we had to kind of look at, like, you know, we kind of have that Rollins, Orton, Ambrose, Reigns around the same 4 for me, 3.25 for you. I think I would have this above the Orton Riddle 6-man. But I'm fine
That's
having
fine.
it below the Jericho matches.
Let's leave it there. I don't really have a strong opinion on it. I didn't watch it live. I only watched after the fact. And I find this whole feud to be a little bit of a letdown for me because I actually like both guys in general. But yeah, that's a fair place for it, I think.
Yeah, their Mania match, it's like, I like their SummerSlam 08 from what I remember. That felt really like a God's match to me. But then the 2010 series, I just like Batista a lot during that run as the heel. Like, I think that's some of his best stuff as a character during that stretch. And I remember the Mania match being a little disappointing. But I think this one, I'd have to look, but I thought this one was kind of the best of the bunch.
Mm.
I don't remember. Did I do this fucking? I guess we must have did this on War. Oh no, I think we were going to.
You didn't want to do 2010.
So Extreme Rules, I went 3 3/4. No, I think this is their last match. This is the last match.
Yeah. The I Quit is the last match. But the last man standing is the month.
I was saying Extreme Rules is after this. Yeah, okay. So this is the last match. So yeah, it is the next night on Raw where he comes out in the neck brace and the wheelchair and he quits or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. I just like the character aspect. All right, Payback 2015, best of 3 falls match. This is Big E, Langston, and Kofi Kingston for New Day versus Cesaro and Kid. You're higher than me, 4. I'm at 3.5.
Just a great tag match, but again, nothing special. So it's got to go near the bottom. It's a great tag match.
Cesaro and Kid are a lot of fun. New Day, they're just getting going too here.
Yeah, it's only by the end of the year they take the titles off them. So, but this is a good feud. They get a bunch of great matches out of them. But again, if you're looking at the pantheon of great matches, it's not going to be near the top.
It's like the story of May for us. It's like a very good match. Doesn't mean a lot. I'm a little higher than you. You're a little higher than me. It's like we've kind of been doing that dance throughout most of these matches on this month.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say probably below the Sikoa Tonga.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I would have it below Benoit Angle, but
I would too.
Okay. Below Shinsuke and AJ?
Yeah, probably.
Below Bobby?
Yeah.
We love you, Bobby.
See? Wanted it back.
But not at the bottom. You want to have Triple H Orton at the bottom?
I don't care. I mean,
it's going to get cut. If it's three
of them are getting cut anyway. So let's put it ahead, put it below. It's getting cut.
It doesn't matter. All right, Benoit Edge is our last match from Backlash 05. I was much higher than you on this. I was at 4. You're at 275. This is the feud right after Edge had turned. I think it's when he hits him with the brick and knocks him out. I think this is last man standing, right? I believe.
Yeah.
I think that's why he knocks him out. He gets counted down. It's coming off the Money in the Bank finish.
Yeah, I had it at 3, and then I rewatched it recently for this, and I went down. I hate the brick finish. I really struggle with anything that, like, a brick to the face, a cinder block, a sledgehammer. As soon as that comes out, or hammer, if that's being used, I'm already out of the match. And I really am not a big fan of last man standings. I found this slow, bit meandering, just didn't do it for me well.
Okay. I'm fine putting this at the bottom 3 that get axed. So this, the New Day versus Cesaro and Kid and Triple H Orton are the 3 that we're going to lop off here.
That's fine.
Okay.
I have no issue with that.
All right, Tim, in a second, we'll bring up the list and we'll just kind of spot check. One match that I would have thought would be in the discussion, but we just had it both below 4, and that's Bret Hart and Akushi from In Your House 1. I think it's one of the actual, you talked about earlier, like when you think of May matches, like that's one you think of.
Yep.
It is for me, but I had it 3.75, you had it 3.5, so it just didn't make the cut.
Yeah, it's too bad because it is a very good match. Like I was surprised it didn't make it either.
And then the other one I would have thought would have made it that didn't was the Evolution Shield. Because you hear so much about those matches.
Yeah, there's some weird matches. That's in 2014, right?
Yeah, it's coming off of 30.
Yeah, and that's not the Blue Tista one. That's the just.
I think it's the next month. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm 3.75, and oh fuck, the last one I have at 2.5, so I must have really not liked that one. But like, I don't know, just didn't click for me.
Yeah, I remember everyone loving those. All right. Anything you want to? I mean, I feel like we're pretty much in lockstep in most of this.
Yeah, let's just go with what we have.
Okay. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
If we read it and it comes out, we'll do it. But
okay,
I think we'll be fine.
All right. So our bottom 3 cuts: Backlash 05, Benoit Edge; Payback 15, New Day versus Cesaro and Kid; and then Judgment Day 08, Triple H Orton. So those are our cuts. Yeah. So that gives us our 25th best match of May. Bobby Lindsay, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman
Ooh.
from Backlash 01.
Do we love Bobby?
Snuck right in. Number 24 from Backlash 2018, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura on the Disappointment Tour.
All right, and then at 23 from Judgment Day 01, similarly disappointing for some, and that's Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle.
22, Backlash 2024, the oft-mentioned Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga versus Orton and Owens.
All right, and just above that at 21 is from Backlash 2023, Bianca Belair and Io Sky.
Number 20, far off from the 10 I put it at originally, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn from Payback 2016.
Number 19 is Backlash 2021, Roman Reigns versus Cesaro.
Number 18, Payback 2015, Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins.
Number 17, Backlash 2022, Randy Orton, Matt Riddle, and Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns and the Usos.
Number 16, Over the Limit 2010, John Cena, Batista, I Quit.
Our 15th best match, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho from Judgment Day 09.
Our 14th from Judgment Day 08, just a year earlier, Chris Jericho against Shawn Michaels.
I like that those ended up paired after all that time, so that was good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Number 13, Backlash 2023, Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest.
Number 12, Payback 2016, the first of the Roman Reigns AJ Styles match.
Number 11, Backlash 2024, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles.
Number 10, Backlash 2022, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins rematch.
Number 9, Extreme Rules 2016, the great IC four-way Miz, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro.
Number 8, I moved down quite a bit, Judgment Day 04, Eddie Guerrero, JBL.
Number 7, Over the Limit 2011, Randy Orton versus Christian.
Number 6, Extreme Rules 2016, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles.
Number 5, Over the Limit 2012, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan.
Number 4, Judgment Day 05, JBL versus John Cena.
Number 3, Elimination Chamber 2015, John Cena versus Kevin Owens.
Number 2, the Iron Man match at Judgment Day 2000 between The Rock and Triple H.
And our number 1 match from May, Steve Austin, Dude Love, Over the Edge, 98. Would you shift JBL, Eddie, above any of those? Are you good? I know you mentioned it being lower.
No, I was just surprised because we talked it up. But no, I think that makes sense. Like, I think everything above it should probably be above it. So,
yeah. Okay. All right. There's our May matches. If you have any thoughts on any matches we missed or what you would change, leave it in the comments on YouTube or message us on social media. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another fun episode of No Holds Barred. Till then, check out everything in Northside Connection. The Dookie has been dropped. And here you go. Live viewer comments will show up in StreamYard. This is an example. Click on the comment. I don't know where that came from, but thank you. That'll do it. We're out. Dookie's dropped. Talk to you later.
jackass.